ArtFight is coming up, and by coming up, I mean it's not until July. But other people were already going ahead and making some preparation videos, so I figured I'd do that too. Hey guys, PhoebePheebsPhibs here, and if you just happen to stumble across this video, you may be thinking, dude, what even is ArtFight? Are we sending our men into battle at the crack of dawn to fight the enemy using art? And to that I say, not really, but I'll explain real quick. Basically, artists that join the event on the ArtFight website will be sorted into two teams. At the time we're recording this, there has not been a theme reveal yet, but that typically does happen soon, and when there is, I'll make another video. In the meantime, we can focus on what ArtFight is and how you can prepare in this point in time. For the entire month of July, you're going to be earning points for your team. How do you earn points? By drawing the original characters of people on the opposing team. You can attack people on your own team, but you'll just get less points. Around 20% of the points you would get if you were attacking the opposite team. There's quite a few common terms on ArtFight, so I'll explain a few. Drawings you post of other people's characters are your attacks. Drawings of your characters other people have drawn for you are your defenses. Find and click on a character you want to draw, you can press the bookmark button in order to save the character. You can also put this character in a specific bookmark folder in order to keep track of them, since this was a change that was added earlier this year. Bookmarks are important when you want to attack a character because each character has their own character ID, and you're going to need this ID in order to publish your attack. Want to upload a character or an attack, press the submit button at the top of the screen and select either character or attack. The attack button currently isn't here since it's only here during the actual event, but it will be there during July. In the meantime, I will show you how to submit a character. Press submit character, you'll be taken to this screen. You'll have to add some major things before you can upload a character, and then you can add some additional attributes if you want more accuracy when it comes to other people drawing your characters. Okay, so I'm doing this live so that way I can show you exactly how to upload a character. Right here is one of my new little guys' reference sheets, so I'm going to upload this onto the ArtFight website. You don't actually have to have a reference sheet. If you just have a picture of the character, then that'll be just fine. You can even use traditional art, since I have some little doodles of them I have here that I'm also going to upload later. Now, I did this on Procreate, so one thing you're going to want to check first is go to Canvas, and then Canvas Information, then go to Color Profile. You're going to want a profile that isn't Display P3, since when you upload an image onto ArtFight that has the color profile of Display P3, it's going to turn out a little desaturated. I didn't know this my first 2 years of doing ArtFight, so I'm going to let you know now. I typically change it to this one right there. It's RGB before ICC appearance, but I think any of the sRGB ones work just fine. You do want to do this before you put your colors down though, as it will slightly change your colors, although it will change them significantly less than if you did that later. So done with that, since I already changed that, then I'm just gonna save this real quick. I actually think I already did save it, so let me check real quick. Okay, I did in fact already save it, so what you see here is you're gonna have to put your character's name. In this description, this is completely optional, but it's just some little things that you can add to tell some people about your character. This does not have to be a long drawn out lore dump, and less is typically more in this type of case. So I just put some little basic things, what characters same universe as. Over here you have credits where it's basically like saying, hey, did you originally design this character? And if not, give credits. You can also give additional credits if it's like a fan character of something. Like, for example, one of my characters is a fan character for the Amazing Digital Circus. And so I credited Gooseworks and Glitch Productions for being the original creators of the Amazing Digital Circus, even though the character was still completely made by me. Over here, you're going to see the permissions, which is basically things that people should keep in mind when drawing your character. It's different from descriptions because this is specific stuff that you really don't want them to draw. Like, for example, the character I have is, right here, Callum, he's completely nonverbal. I'm specifying the fact that he is nonverbal and cannot talk here. So I don't want anyone to put him in any scenarios where he would be talking because he can't talk. And also not to change the fact that he has a crooked nose because he does, and I don't want anyone to change that. These permissions right here will only apply to this character specifically. If you click on any other characters of yours, these will not show up. However, there is a way on your profile in order to do universal permissions. So, and you can also disable those permissions on that character. I'm not going to do that though, because all the permissions on my other characters still apply to this one. Anyway, here, you're going to put your main image, which would be your reference image, and the thumbnail image, which can be the same as the reference image, can be different. It's just going to be cropped to 200 by 200 pixels because that's how large the thumbnails are. The thumbnail image is the image that you're going to see when you're just other people are just browsing characters or you're looking at your characters. It's basically what shows up before you click on them. So I can just click main file, and I'm just going to skip this part because I don't want you to see my camera roll. Okay, and another thing that's also new is for the thumbnail, you don't specifically have to make your canvas 200 by 200 pixels. I instead am using the auto cropping tool on ArtFight. This is something that is also new for the first time this year. So I'm really grateful this is a thing because those 200 by 200 thumbnails, they were really blurry. So I'm glad this is something that was changed. And you have to click if you create this image, and you need to be mindful of content filters, which are basically like if this character or image used has like gore or nudity or all that sort of stuff that people might not want to see. So I'll show you some examples. You got gore, body horror, nudity, suggestive themes, eye strain, and sensitive content. Now, some of these were kind of a little confusing to me before, especially like what they considered body horror or sensitive content. So I'd recommend checking on the ArtFight website for yourself what these actually mean, since the website does go into specific detail, but I don't think this character needs a content filter. Or I might double check, but I'm pretty sure that they don't. So here we go. Okay, I checked just to make sure, and this character does not need a content filter. Again, you are going to want to check just to make sure, particularly with subjects such as body horror and sensitive content, or even eye strain, because you might not exactly know what that all encompasses. Anyway, here you can put a content filter on the character themselves. Right there, it was just for the image, which is nice because if the character themselves doesn't need a content filter, but one of the reference images you use does, then that works out so that when more people can see the character, but they still won't see the image, that might trigger them. Here you have tags that you can use in the tag search. The tag search isn't all that great. It's particularly good if you want to look for fan characters of a certain series. So that's typically what I use it for. This is just original character. I don't really think I want to add any tags, but anyway, down here we can submit character when we're ready. So let's make sure we have everything. Yep, I sure do. So I can submit the character. And there we go. It's loading, and soon. There we go. He's now an official character on my profile. Also, if you want to change the order of your characters, you can click here, go to Manage Characters. Here you're going to have everybody. Let's see, I'm going to put him in spot 10, I guess. So I'll just do that real quick. I'll just move him. Normally. Okay, he would have been in 11, so good thing I did that. Or no, he'd have been in 12 because I don't want to separate these. Okay. So now that that's settled, I can save the sort order. And that's how they're going to appear in my profile. On your profile, you can add images, but you have to have a specific link to them. I'll show you how to do this once the theme reveals are out, and once these are out. You can add these little badges to your profile, which are always fun. You can add links if you're experienced enough. You can add your social medias. And when you see characters, it'll only show the first 6 right here. You're going to have to click view all in order to see everybody's characters. So for your first 6 characters, put the 6 that you want to get attacked the most. Like, love all these guys. They're some of my favorites. So that's why they're up there. I'd recommend either putting your favorites there or some new characters so that they can get more attacks. In order to edit your profile, you can click edit right here, and then it'll take you to your profile. You can hide if you're last seen, you can disable profile comments, you can upload your social medias. This is where you write your profile descriptions. And also, you can click here for your universal character permissions. So it'll just show you what each user does and doesn't allow. For example, I don't allow any disrespect or NSFW, extreme gore. I do allow people drawing my characters with theirs, so I put that you can do that. I also put that people are allowed to ship characters unless otherwise specified in their permissions, or if it's like gross, like shipping a minor with an adult or something bad like that. I put not to gender, bender, race swap my characters, and that people can change their outfits. Just make sure it fits their overall aesthetic, and keep like their color palettes similar. And also be mindful of individual character permissions. And one final thing before I go back to the speed paints rather than just being here. If you want to add a second picture, as I said earlier, we can do that. And I wanted to add those doodles. I'll just go to edit, images, and then I can upload a new image. Oh, I accidentally pressed files by accident. But yeah, you can just go to your photo library and upload new pictures. As you can see, I added the doodles. They're right there. You can choose which pictures first and which picture selects your character's thumbnail. So the thumbnail we did earlier was just for that specific image. This is for everything. Pretty sure you can only have a max of 5 pictures on here at a time. So if you ever have images that you don't want, you can delete them in order to make space for new ones. I'm sure we all miss seeing the actual real world me and not just some random speed paint of my OCs and their ref sheets, but I'm just doing this for attack submissions since you can't really submit an attack right now because it's not July. Don't draw attacks early because that is against the rules and you will get banned. But so anyway, I'll explain in best detail how to submit an attack. For attacking a character, you're going to need a title of the image, the attack image itself, and you're also going to need to score your attack. You get more points based off of how much of the character you drew, so like bust shot, half body, full body, etc. How rendered the piece is, if you just did a sketch, or if you had clean line art, or if it's only partially shaded rather than fully shaded in detail, and if there is a background, like you're going to get more points if you draw a full scene or a character with a prop than you just would if you had some random square in the background. And also there is a separate button called the polish button where if you're really proud of an attack you did, or it took you forever to do, you press that button and it gives you a little bit more points. Only use that if you're like really proud of it or it took a really long time, because people who just use the polish button on every single one of their attacks are kind of just not in the spirit of ArtFight. Please try to be honest when you write your attack, because there are moderators. Well, it's just nice being honest. Of course, if you make a genuine mistake, that's another thing. Also, if your attack has content that would fall into the character filters, you would need to filter that just like as you would on a character. Now, if you want to join but you have no idea who to attack, I've got a few recommendations. One is that you click the browse button, then you click on characters if you want to see any recently uploaded characters, or if you want to discover some new people, you can click either random character or random user. I already brought up tag search in the past, so we'll skip that. If you want some specific people to attack, obviously attack me. I'd really appreciate it. I try my best to always revenge, and I probably will be able to. Another cool person you could attack is my friend JustaDuc. She doesn't really attack all that much, but I think she might be more motivated to do some more stuff on ArtFight this year. And it'd be really cool if you attacked her. She has some really cool characters, so go do it. Another really cool user, gwendylamorte. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. They changed their user the last time I saw them. We only knew each other for a week at an art camp a few years ago, but they're still really cool. Their art's really cool. If you listen to Willwood at all, you'll really like them. And yeah, they've got some cool characters too. So another person I haven't interacted with in person in ages from that aforementioned art camp, PhoebePheebsPhibs. She has some really cool characters and has a really interesting story about some of them, about a robot and his inventor getting sent back in time to the 90s, and they have to find ways to get back and how to manage being in the 90s and stuff. It's really cool. Go attack her. Her art is also amazing. A final cool person to attack, someone I've never met IRL, but is still really cool from what I've gathered, and she has really cool art. YouTuber Rosemine. I say YouTuber because she is primarily a YouTuber, and that is how I found out about her profile on here. She's the one who got me into ArtFight in the first place because I saw her video, and yeah, go attack her. She has a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog fan characters, and even if you don't play Sonic, I've never played a Sonic game in my life, she still has some really cool characters, and yeah. Also, she 100%, I'm pretty sure, makes a video every year on ArtFight, so if you attack her and you don't want your attack to be in the video, just let her know. I'm sure she'll understand. But yeah, those are some of my recommendations. Okay, one final thing before I go. How to search for specific profiles. You don't really have that feature in base ArtFight. I think you might get it if you pay for it or something, but that doesn't really matter when we can do this instead. So what you're gonna want to do is click on your own profile, click on the URL of your profile, and replace your username with the username of the user that you want to search for. So for example, I'll search my friend JustaDuc. So you gotta make sure you spell everything correctly, otherwise it won't show up. Now, just click go, and voila, you're at the other person's profile. That's all I really have for this video. I'm gonna make another ArtFight video when the theme reveal is released, and which team I'm on, how to upload images into your profile, all that stuff. So, be looking forward to that. Also, let me know if you want me to make a post-ArtFight video about all the attacks I did and defenses I got. That's it for this video. Bye!